Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another political episode. So earlier today we did our gubernatorial prediction for 2026. We're going to follow up with a House prediction, and I'm sure like tomorrow or something, or next day, we'll have our Senate prediction up for June. So let's go ahead and get started. Once again, like the governor's prediction, we're going to be doing a election night scenario. Since we have 435 seats, it's going to take a little longer, like a half hour, I'm hoping, and no more. But ultimately, I am looking forward to this said prediction. Let's go ahead and get started. So first off, we got to talk about the 7 o'clock states. So we got the states closing at 7 p.m., and those are the states of Vermont, Indiana, Kentucky, Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. We can go ahead and project Rebecca Balint, the winner in Vermont. She will win I want to believe it was a second term. No, it's not a second term. No, third term. I want to believe was elected in 2022. But yes, she will obviously win that election. Going into Indiana, we can make the projection in those said seats. No pickups. All the incumbents will win unless there are retirees, which I'm sure there always are. But yes, we got Indiana being called. Kentucky, same deal. We can make a projection there. And in Virginia, where there is one seat, Virginia 2nd, which is a compatible seat, that seat is too close to call. We will not be calling that. Meanwhile, we can call all but that seat. So far, no real changes. South Carolina, all but one. All seats will go Republican except for one. You got very hopeful there, but yes, no changes. Georgia, same deal, no changes. There hasn't really been real changes since the 2022 election where these seats went red, but that was because of Republican redistricting. But you go ahead and you take a look at Florida now. We can make projections in Florida. We can project all the seats for all the seats for the parties here, the two parties. Okay. Oh, and here is our map. 51 Republican seats, while we have 24 Democratic seats. All right. Now it's 7:30 p.m. We are ready to make a projection in 3 states. We are starting with the state of Ohio. All but 2 seats will be called. First off, we have 3 seats, being called for Democrats. The rest will be called for the said Republican Party. Not Republican Party, but Republicans. Yes, the Republican Party. But you have that 9th and 13th district. Yeah, that is to be called later on. So you have 61 seats for Republicans, 27 seats for Democrats. Okay, so now we have West Virginia. Very easy here. All but 1 seat will be called in North Carolina. This will be fairly easy. That North Carolina one, Don Davis's seat is too close to call. We'll see how that votes later on. All right, so this is the map so far. You got 3 states added. It's now 8 o'clock p.m. With the start of the hour, Republicans are leading with the vote with 73 seats. Democrats, a little behind with 30 seats. Okay? Maine's 2nd district is too close to call. Meanwhile, we can call the 1st district in Maine. That is pretty easy to call. New Hampshire's 2 districts will be called. In Massachusetts, we can make a projection of those of every seat in Massachusetts. included there. Rhode Island, the 2 seats. All Democrats win their seats there, keep their seats. Connecticut, same deal. They're not up for contestation. We got New Jersey. No real compatible seats. Republicans, I don't really think of this seat as compatible. I think it's going Republican regardless. This seat is pretty Democratic, despite Trump winning that district. They could surprise us. Republicans could pull an upset there, and that would be a midterm miracle for Republicans, saying that they are, of course, the majority party, but we are calling it for Dems. So no real changes in New Jersey. In Pennsylvania, all but a couple will be called, and that being all but 3. We'll go ahead and call, yes, Republicans carrying that. I think it's the 1st district, that Bucks County area. But yes, this is the seats that we are calling now. 65 seats for Dems, 83 seats for Republicans. Timothy McBride. Oh, they're going to go after me for that. Oh, Tampon Tim. He's going to win re-election. Maryland. All these said, Congress, men and women, they're going to win their seats. And this said Maryland and the state of Michigan. We can easily and quickly project the seats in said Michigan. I also will go ahead and project this district also for Republicans, John James district, he is retiring, so that new congressman, Republican nominee, whoever that would be, would win that said race. The only seat that's up for grabs is Tom Barrett's seat, which is pretty tossed up, as far if I can say for myself. Illinois, no real seats are up for grabs in the state of Illinois. We can project that no changes. Democrats and Republicans will keep their said seats in the state of Illinois. All right. Going down to Tennessee, no changes. You'll see Democrats have caught up with Republicans thanks to the metro areas, New England, Chicago. You got Alabama. There we go. 106. Mississippi. Yep, no real changes in those deep south states. No changes in Missouri. We can officially now project. And in the state of Kansas, there are no changes. Okay? Oklahoma, no changes. Republicans hold every seat in the state. And of course, you have the state of Texas. All but 2 seats will be called. Of course, the Dallas Metro will of course remain Democratic. This is Jasmine Crotchett's seat. It's Crockett. I like to call it Crotchett, but yes, that very weird Congress lady we keep hearing about, because she's so loud. She will win, obviously, because people in our district don't know how to vote right. Obviously, you have the rural countryside of Texas going Republican. Harris County, of course, Al Green's silly seat will go blue because he's a hero, as they will say. And yeah. And of course, you have the seats. Yep, just those 2 southern Texas seats will remain open. But yeah, San Antonio. Yep, perfect. No real changes in the state of Texas. All right, I think those are all the states included for what am I thinking here? All the states included for the 8 o'clock hour. what's the changes here? No real change. Republicans are leading, of course, for that position. 148 seats to Democrats having 110 seats. Reminder, in order to win the House, you need 218 for a House majority. All right, it's now 8:30 p.m. We can take a look at the state of Arkansas. No one's going to care about this 8:30 p.m. because it's going to remain Republican. Arkansas, every one of those said seats. All right, 152 to 110 now at the end of 8:30. Now, 9 o'clock p.m., we can now make some projections, starting with the state of New York. And I've continuously been updating in regards to New York. I continue to say, hey, look, New York is a battleground of opportunity, specifically because of the opportunities we have, especially when it comes to picking up 3 crucial House seats. This seat here in the fourth and third districts. We can hope that Swolsey is thrown out thanks to the Hochul effect, but we really don't know. But right now, we are going to go ahead and project the following deep blue state seats here. All right, we'll leave these seats alone. They're too close to call. We can call Mr. Lawler's seat. And this is what we got so far. We're going to see how Kathy Hochul effect will play out there. All right, so go into Louisiana now. No real changes, of course. Democrats will keep their 2 district seats, one of them that they unconstitutionally stole. Iowa, you'll see all but one be called. Here, I'll officially say this will go Republican. It's just that first district, right here. That's just too close to call. In the state of Wisconsin, we can make a projection that all but one seat will be called, and that is the third district. That's not going to be called. Republicans are being challenged. Democrats may gerrymander this seat, which could potentially give this result to it being a inevitable flip of the said the only inevitable flip in this said House election. But we're going to see how the borders are and if Republicans do have a chance there. In Minnesota, there are no changes. All the incumbents will win re-election. And we have the Dakotas, North and South Dakota, Nebraska's 2nd district is too close to call, of course. Wyoming, Harriet Hagman will win re-election. And you have the said seats. It's just this district too. Some people say it's tossed up. I'm going to say we're going to leave it tossed up as of right now. But yes, you have 2. Actually, hang on. No, we're just going to call it. It's probably likely Republican, despite it's just Dan Evans' seat, which could be flipped. And this is not supposed to be blue. Perfect. New Mexico, we can make a projection there. All seats will be Democratic. Oh, yes, and we forgot to call El Paso. So we'll go ahead and call that. And finally, Arizona, all but 2 seats will be called here. But this is what you're looking at. Perfect. Republicans, once again, are leading 187 seats to 145 seats. They could be the first to reach 200, which means that they possibly could. It's not a promise, but they could keep the House, but by a narrow majority. But let's go ahead and introduce the said 10 o'clock hour. So 10 o'clock, we can make a projection in multiple states. Montana, we're going to go ahead and call those said Montana and Utah seats. You got, of course, couple seats too close to call. Well, actually, we're going to call these seats. We're going to call this Nevada seat too close to call because I think it's possible that Joe Lombardo could miraculously help that said candidate there. But, it's a midterm year, low turnout. Republicans are the low propensity voter. So we're going to go ahead and see how that turns out at the end of the night. But this is what it's looking like at I would say after 10. But now we're going to go ahead and announce and project some couple House races, couple flips, a couple close races, close calls. Maine 2nd District will be Republican. Dan Golden will be ousted. We've seen this in the election results of 2024. He barely won the election. He almost got thrown out. A lot of people were anticipating his defeat, but it's pretty much certain that he will lose this time. Not to mention, I do think that Susan Collins will help that Republican. It's got Paul LePage, who is likely going to be the Republican nominee, win that said seat pretty easily. In the said state of New York, we can make a projection. All 3 seats, sadly, will go to Democrats. They're just, I had hopes that they would go to the said Republican, but they're just strong candidates in general. Tom Swolsey's well liked. The Democrat in the 4th district's well liked, and the Democrat in this big rural district is well liked. I mean, it's going to be the indictment against New York Democrats that are mainly bad, but we're going to have to see how that goes. But so far, it's a Republican net worth +1, which is very good. Let's take a look here. We have this seat right here for Pennsylvania, and we'll leave the other 2. How about that? We'll call this seat here for Republican incumbent. North Carolina's too close to call. All right. In Ohio, we will call Mary Copter will lose re-election. That is Republican +2. This is good signs for the Republican Party. Tom Barrett seat's too close to call. As of right now, we can anticipate that Republicans can and will hold on to the 3rd district of Wisconsin. Meanwhile, Miller Meeks will likely lose re-election if she runs and is nominated. And please forbid she is not. Nebraska's 2nd district, too close to call. Dan Evans' seat, too close to call. We can officially make a projection in these 2 seats right here. Arizona seats, they are pretty Republican as a whole. These Texas seats are too close to call. And we can actually make a projection in this seat in Nevada that will remain blue. All right, this is the map so far. 201 district seats being called for Republicans, 152 seats for Democrats. They only have 1 seat pickup, which is very good. Republicans have 2, but there are many more that are to come. But let's take a look at the 11 o'clock p.m. We're at the Pacific Coast. 218, reminder, is needed to win. All right, California. We are ready to make some projections in some California said seats. So we're going to actually leave a couple, like these seats here. We'll leave trans seat here, and part of the Orange County, because Orange County is pretty Republican in the midterms and off-year elections, down-ballot elections, very Republican. And I want to see how the anti-California establishment effect will benefit Republicans in that district. Yes, Red Eagle's predicting a Tran victory. Tran is a good candidate, but I do think that with the power of just turnout, the hype against the California establishment, I do think it's possible. It's a stretch, but it's possible Republicans could see a flip. But we're going to go ahead and call the districts that we know are going to be safe blue, safe red. But it's the area surrounding that Anaheim district that could be picked up by the Republicans. We're going to have to see how the mounting backlash against California Democrats are. We can go ahead and project those red districts. Democrats are going to gain a lot. This district, I'll say it's going to go Democrat. I don't think it's going back to the Republicans, but okay. Oh, we'll leave this one. I think it's a possible pickup. It could go Republican in the future, but it's possible. It's a stretch. Fresno district, I think it's a stretch, but I think Republicans will win. Democrats will win. But these are the districts that are too close to call. We got our districts, most of them. 8 needed for Republicans to pick up, but we're not done with the projections yet for 11 o'clock. Closing hour. So we got to go ahead and call the Idaho districts. Oregon, we can go ahead and project these districts for Democrats. And in Washington, we can go ahead. That district's too close to call. That's the conservative gal district. But, yep, this is our map so far. Republicans are just seats away. Well, just 2 seats away to keeping the House of Representatives, which would kind of give them the midterms, in my opinion. If Republicans can keep their trifecta, they win the midterms. We talked about the last video where Democrats, they capped their seats in the governor's races, and I'm saying, you know what? I think that's something they could bring home. I mean, we have to leave some things behind, guys. We got to lose some things, and I think if we can keep our trifecta and save Trump from Democrats' witch hunts in the second half of his term, I think this would be a very good year for Republicans if this worked out. But let's go ahead. This is our map so far. We're going to go ahead and call some races. Starting with the 7th district in Pennsylvania, we are going to say that Republican will hold on. Representative McKenzie, and I'm saying this because he comes from Lehigh. And Lehigh and Allentown, it's getting more conservative, and I think they're going to go out more for him because he's from that area. He's going to act like a favorite son in that district. He is residing there, meaning that he has more influence in that area. And I think if he runs against a Democrat, you have Susan Wild not running. Is that her name, Susan? Well, I don't know what her name is. Miss Wilds is not running. She is going. This results to McKenzie probably winning. This district, however, Scott Perry's district, is too close to call. He's trying to really best to stay in power. But the North district right here, North Carolina 1, too close to call. In this district right here, too close to call. Tom Barrett's district, we are going to go ahead and project that he will make it through, despite Red Eagle saying he probably won't. And my argument against that is, look, he's also coming from, I get what he's saying. He's saying Rust Belt and all, low turnout, Democrats. I agree with that. But something he didn't think of is he comes from Eaton County, or area that he did very, very well in, because he's from that county, very similar to why I think he will do well in Lehigh. It's a stretch, but I think it can be done, but he is going to probably win counties around Eaton County, like possibly do well in Ingham County. So I do think, obviously, Eaton County, which is a swing county, by the way, not many. Trump performed very poorly in that county, but won it in 2020. That resulted to the district being more Democrat, but I think he's doing very well in Eaton. He is possibly going to win. But we're going to have to see the polls in regards to that. All right, we can go ahead and make a projection in the district. Okay, let's go ahead and project. Dan Evans will actually lose re-election. That's one thing I think. Yeah, and I agree with Red Eagle with this. I think, the Colorado effect, Republican turnout, I think that's what really helped Dan Evans. the Trump effect, but now there's no Trump effect, and now you have just Democrat. We're going to see the same Colorado in 2022. You have Michael Bennet running for the governorship. I want to believe you have Senator Hickenlooper running. You got the big Democrats running, and I think that's not going to be well for Dan Evans. So I think he's going to lose, and not to mention he's kind of young. The 2 Texas seats. You could say I can make a projection, but I'm not. Not yet, by the way. Let's see if we can make a projection in some California seats. And we will. We can go ahead and project these coastal seats. Despite the anti-California Democrat effect, these seats will become Democratic. That trans seat, however, is too close to call. We'll go ahead and call this seat for Democrats. And I do believe that the incumbent Democrat will lose, very likely. And that, of course, in this said 13th district, and that, of course, we can make a projection of the night. Republicans had survived in the House of Representatives. They will keep it for an extra 2 years, a 6-year tenure. And this is huge. What we're seeing right now is Democrats, they're really struggling because they are very limited with their pathways. All they really have to rely on are suburban districts and some rural areas. And the rural areas, they're losing them, which is not good. But yes, you got 3 districts flipping in the Republicans' favor. And with those 3 districts, Republicans win. And that's huge. Not to mention, there's also districts that Republicans held. It's not like you just need these 3 districts and they win. I'm just make that clear. And finally, in Washington, we can project that Marie Perez will win re-election there. All right, this is our map so far. Republicans have won the House of Representatives before 12 p.m. We're going to go ahead and project the seats that are closing at 12 p.m. Alaska at large. Nick Begich will win. In Hawaii, the 2 Democrats there will win. All right. Republicans have a 10-seat advantage. But with 7 seats tossed up, Democrats could have an opportunity to gain a net worth. But right now, Republicans have the net worth of 1. But let's see if they can expand that, though. If that's going to remain the same. All right, out of the 7, we are ready to make a projection. We're starting off with Don Bacon's seat. We will officially project that Don Bacon will win and pull it off in the state of Nebraska. We say this because, he did very well in probably a year that he was possibly going to lose because of the Kamala Harris voters. But now in the state of Nebraska, I do believe, being a low turnout state for Democrats, I think Don Bacon can pull it off. Looking at the district here in 6 districts. But we're going to go ahead and project that the 9th, is it the 13th? The 13th district. Miss Sykes, Congresswoman Sykes, is losing re-election. That district is turning away from her, and not to mention, I think it's a good shot to take her out. Even with redistricting, I think you don't have to redistrict much for her to lose. Okay. Couple hours later, playing realistically, we can make a projection that Don Bacon will survive in North Carolina. As of the rates right now, it looks like he has enough support to possibly pull it off. In Pennsylvania 8th, Pennsylvania 10. My bad. We're looking at a Scott Perry victory. Scott Perry will pull it off. He is going to stay in Pennsylvania. And with 3 seats left, you have you have this seat too. David Tran will win re-election, by the way. So you only got 1 seat flipped. The California effect didn't really work out. And the reason why Yeah, it's a stretch because there are a lot of good popular Democrats in these House districts. So it's going to has to rely on an amount of Republicans. It's suburban Republicans, MAGA Republicans in California to unite, form a coalition, and actually go and storm the polls and try to flip as much suburbs. The suburbs of Orange County is preferable, in my view. But this is what we're looking at right now by gains. Republicans +2. This is very good. Republicans are not losing seats. They are gaining seats. And then the last two are actually the two that a lot of people say that Republicans will pick up, mainly because Henry Collar is possibly going to jail. But the reason why I'm going to make a decision that's going to really upset some Republicans, I am going to keep this seat blue. Why am I keeping this seat blue? We have no real indications other than the convictions that this seat will remain Republican. It's going to take, like, a lot of people throw their hands up in the air and say, it's done, it's going Republican. I think I may have said that a couple videos ago, but then you realize over time that, you know what? A lot of people think that, then you end up losing. A reason why is you need to depend on the turnout. You got to make sure those conservative Hispanic voters, they're coming out against Cuellar, and not to mention there are a lot of Hispanics that feel that Cuellar is actually innocent, and that the lies against Cuellar are not merit based, even though they very are merit based. They might think it's a Republican Trump witch hunt, and they're going to double down in supporting Cuellar. Not to mention, if Cuellar is thrown in jail, they find a better Democrat, they might vote for that better Democrat. So right now, unless we get some polling that clearly shows Republicans are winning and some predictions and net worths, I am not going to call it a flip yet. And Vicente Gonzalez, I do think he will probably pull it off right now. Not to mention, Republicans need to turn it out a lot. Like Kennedy County, which is a county that voted for Trump by 70%, it's a county that will often vote Democrat sometimes. Think about a county that will votes for Republican 70% that will often go to Democrats. That's basically unheard of. But the reason why they go 70% is because of the turnout, right? People are turning out in those elections. But a lot of people won't vote. And I'm hoping a lot of people in Kennedy County will vote in the House race. And I think they will. But it's also other counties, like these counties down below, all of which in this district Trump carried in the 2024 election. You're just going to hope that the Hispanic vote there is still favorable for Trump. They like what he's doing. And you got to hope that they got a good nominee there. And a good Republican nominee for that district seat, and that throws out Gonzalez. So anyway, this is your map. This is kind of weird because it might sound strange or sounds a little sneaky of me, but I had my prediction mapped out beforehand, and if I was correct, I had Republicans with 223 seats, not 222. Maybe it's either this is correct or my map or my base map here is wrong. But it's supposed to be Democrats 212, Republicans 223. But I may have clicked a suburb in Florida. No, it's one of these suburban counties, districts. I tend to notice here, but you know how it can go sometimes. You spend a lot of time looking for, maybe it's in Los Angeles here. Let's take a look at Los Angeles. Los Angeles looks good. I'm thinking, yeah, it's somewhere around here, but whatever it is, it's supposed to be 223, not 222. And I do think it's kind of unlikely that we're going to rebound to that number. Although a lot of predictions seem to say that we will. I think it's a stretch, but anyway, what do you guys think in regards to this video? And Just checking the Detroit Metro. Okay. What do you guys think about this said video? If you guys see my mistake somewhere, just let me know. If I must have clicked a Republican district blue. And that's probably what, and I'm not talking about North Carolina 1. That was intentional. But anyway, what do you guys think about this video? Let me know down below. And as always, I will see you all in the next political episode.